Loretta, we've talked about what our faith has meant to us in the past, but both of us now are facing a whole new phase of life. I felt like once I turned 80, and then once I turned 90, I haven't yet, but I know that we're struggling with where we fit in. How's that working out for you?
In this phase of life, I am really aware that my life is totally dependent upon God. I am weak myself, but I have to depend on God for everything. And of course, that's the way it has been all along, but I'm just more aware of it now. And so I live alone, and I am alone most of the time. So I talk to God in everyday language, out loud. And there are certain things I have to do that I think are kind of risky. And so I say a lot of little prayers, before I do them.
God is still with us every day of the week, every minute of the day. And I'm having to use my faith as I looked around me in the world today and recognize what is going on. And I have such concern for my children and my grandchildren and the world that I'm leaving them in. And so I use my faith to recognize that God's still in charge and He's not done with us yet. My concern about the rest of the world, and I'm real concerned about the way things are going, and I try to say God is still in charge.
I think going to a Bible study is helpful. And I have devotion books, a lot of them. And so if I want to read a devotion 10 times a day, I think I could probably manage that.
Where are these devotion books located?
Well, they're located in the bathroom.
Yes.
And
by the bedside?
Yes, by the bedside.
By your dining room table?
Yes, I think they're too.
By the computers?
So I have lots of reminders to remember what's important. How do you show your faith? I would think you would have a closeness because you work outside a lot.
That is true. I almost like time passes because when I'm outside sometimes, I can't believe that the Lord and I have been conversing here with each other. I see Him in the beauty of the garden. I see Him in the birds. I see Him in the butterflies. Like, as we look out the window, we see the hummingbird, the butterflies, and all the nature and all that. I talk and communicate, and time just flies. And I'm praising and worshiping Him. And that happens a lot in my working with wood or fishing or working in the garden. There's no television to bother me, no other outside things, just the birds.
So how do you show your faith now?
Well, at church, I just show up and do things that I ask to. I preside once in a while. I think I say a prayer next Sunday. I guess that would have to be it.
Well, Dale, maybe that's something you need to work on.
Well, that's good advice.
How are you living your faith in your life right now, Mike?
I just always believe in doing good and set a good example and try to spread love instead of hate and just be accepting.
Be a positive influence.
Yeah, try to be a positive influence, set an example.
Yeah. We try to do things to help others and to make life easier for those that are experiencing difficulty. I think we try that a lot as part of living our faith and doing what we can, not always able to do it financially, but in other aspects we can at least contribute and participate. we have to rely on our faith, even in the world at large now. I feel like we have to rely on our faith and prayer and the feeling you get as part of a community who understands.